Today it's all about a Sagittarian. What have I got in store for you? Hi, I'm Gabby and welcome back to another edition of The Fragrantician, where we talk about nothing but fragrance. So if you are a returning viewer, I see you and I hear you and I appreciate you so much. But if you just clicked on to Fabulosity, then it costs you nothing to just subscribe and help my channel grow. And then you're part of the Gabster family. So today I am doing a tag fragrance and it is from none other than Sam Smells. There she is. There's that cute little picture of her. Isn't she a cutie pie? And she tagged me in a Zodiac Tag. Yes, which is all about Sagittarius, which is my sign, and it was her sign as well. So without further ado, I'm going to tag a couple of people. Now who shall I tag? I am going to tag Marcy Mello, Marcelena Thomas. So I'm going to tag Marcelena. So please, I'd like to see you do this tag for me, darling. And the other person, who shall I tag? I'm going to tag my diva sister, Mandie Glam. Yes, I'm going to tag you, Mandie, because she's a fellow Sagittarian and I want to see what her picks are. So there we go. So let's get into it. So the first category we have is all about the zodiac symbol. This was a difficult one. Actually, it probably was the most difficult out of everything. Yes, it was the most difficult out of everything. So I came up with one from my wish list, which I do want, which represents the centaur, which represents that half man, half person, half horse. And that is Anubis. Yes, I really want this fragrance on my wish list because it embodies everything that is that horse, that is that centaur. It's got the leather, it's got the smokiness, it's got the frankincense, it's got the suede, that suede smell, and it's absolutely divine. And I feel that that fragrance matches the centaur. And I love horses. I used to do a lot of horse riding when I lived in France. Absolutely love horses. I have a real affinity with horses. They are probably my spirit animal to my soul. So that's probably the fragrance I'm probably going to choose on my wish list. However, the fragrance that does have a slight leather note, but it does fail into comparison, and it was so hard to choose. And that's Black Perfecto by Guerlain, which has a spikiness to it, a scratchiness, which I love. You know me, I love a good scratch. And it's got a hint of leather in there with the rose and the licorice. I do love it. It smells very different to other fragrances that I've got. It's quite a unique fragrance. So I'm choosing Black Perfecto by Guerlain because it has that feel of a zodiac symbol to it. And it's one of my signatures, so I do wear it. But Anubis, Richard, he's not here at the moment, so he's not here on the video. But if he does watch this video, which he does do, you know what to do. Secondly, we are talking about the birth month, which is the whole month. Of course it is. It's from November the 21st, was it the 22nd? No, November the 22nd to December, my mind escapes me, the 21st. So that covers Sagittarius. Well, my birthday falls in November 28th. So for that, I chose a fragrance, a niche fragrance from the house of Montel Intense Cafe. And the reason why I chose this fragrance is because normally in November, when we can, towards the end of my birthday, towards the end of the month, we normally go to somewhere in Europe. More often than not, it's been Prague, we do love to go to Prague. And this reminds me of just that month, sitting in a cafe, drinking a hot chocolate or a coffee or a latte, and it's cozy. And this brings back many scent memories for that month of November. Because let's face it, fragrance does have scent memories with us. So I'm choosing Intense Cafe by Montel. It is slightly rosy, slightly coffee, but not too coffee. So if you're expecting a strong bitter coffee, it's not that. You'd want maybe a stronger coffee scent. I don't really like coffee, but I can tolerate. No, I don't tolerate this. I absolutely love this scent. Gets a lot of compliments as well. So Intense Cafe. There we go. So the next category is the birth season, and this was an easy one for autumn, going into winter, end of autumn, and it's none other than Shalimar Soufflé Intense. This is a little bit of a unicorn fragrance, packed with benzoin, packed with vanilla. It's a lovely, grown-up, gourmand, sweet, spicy fragrance, and I adore it. Absolutely love it. My only gripe is I don't have a bigger bottle. But I will only wear this in autumn and winter. It's for that season, for the end of autumn. It really is. It's such a beautiful, stunning fragrance. Good longevity, good sillage. I've only tried it the last few weeks, but boy, does it pack a punch. And it's not really for this time of the year, for spring and summer. It's going to be for that month, end of November, which is the birth season for Sagittarius, and it's opulent. Opulent. What's that saying? Opulence is everything. If you watch RuPaul's Drag Race. The next category we come into is the birth flower, which is chrysanthemum. And actually, this was easier than I thought. Now, chrysanthemum, in some cultures, is seen as a flower at a funeral. And it represents death and a respect. That's what it represents, from what I remember in France. So I haven't really got any chrysanthemum-based fragrances. I did think of L'Herbe Bleue, but that has more carnation and has more of that. So I wanted to choose something a little bit different, and I wanted to choose something that does signify death and has another flower note in there that signifies that, and that is Givenchy Ange ou Démon. And it has lily in, and you can detect the lily with the oak. It's deep and it's dark, but it's bright from the saffron and the citruses. But it's that lily note that is in there. And because it represents the sign of a new beginning with death and it's a mark of respect, I had to go with this. So I chose Ange ou Démon by Givenchy because of that deathly aspect. Something about death that fascinates me. I know. I'm not afraid of death anyway, but there we go. That's another whole story. So the next fragrance we are going to be talking about is representing the birthstone, and that is citrine or yellow topaz. I don't hate yellow, but it's not the nicest of colours. Although my hair is looking slightly ashy yellow and needs a bit of a toning session going on, but that's another story. So you probably would like to hear these stories, wouldn't you? You'd probably just like to hear me gab along, would you? If you do, give a big thumbs up. But let's get back to the fragrances. So enough of that. Right, so I chose to represent that brightness, that that healing energy, I suppose, of citrine or topaz. And I do have a topaz stone ring, although I don't wear rings because I don't like wearing rings. I can't stand rings. If you get to know me, I cannot abide anything on my fingers. I'm okay with bracelets, and I'm okay with earrings and necklaces, but rings, no, I just have a slight aversion to it. So anyway, I digress. So I have Richard gave me a ring, which I still have, my eternity ring, and it has blue topaz in, which represents my birthstone, because I do like the colour blue. However, I wanted to choose something that represented yellow topaz or citrine, and that is this gorgeous scent by Lush called Frangipani, because it's bright and airy and cheerful. It has a little bit of almond in there as well, and I'm pretty sure in Greek mythology they actually scented, or is it in Italy? I can't remember. They scented the gloves with almond oil, maybe? I don't know, but it's so nice. It's an all year round fragrance, this one. It's so bright. It's quite a soliflor fragrance, and by that I mean it's quite linear. It's quite one note, so it's just frangipani with a little bit of sweet almond. There's other florals in there, but that frangipani, that bright floral, comes through. So that to me represents the birthstone for Sagittarius. And finally, we're going to the zodiac personality for Sagittarius. Now, those of you thinking that I'm going to choose angel, no. Or even the eau de toilette, no. I had to choose a fragrance that represented the personality. And although angel can represent that kind of personality, I wanted something a bit more just straightforward. It's for the person, don't get me wrong, this fragrance, I'm keeping you in suspense, aren't I? It's for the person, it's for that guy or girl that does want to overproject. Oh, am I overprojecting? Am I too much? Because this fragrance can be, and that is So Scandale by Jean-Paul Gaultier. And I still got this small bottle, and Richard still has not bought me a large bottle of it, because I have juice sucked my way out of this, because you don't need too much of this fragrance. Now, it's raspberry and tuberose and a slight creaminess of milk, and that's all it is. And a Sagittarius personality is sociable, is outgoing, is gregarious, is blunt, is honest, is restless, likes to travel, likes sport. Not so sure about that, but I love to dance. So that can be classed as a sport, I suppose. And I feel this fragrance matches that perfectly, because the raspberry is playful and flirty, and it's just lovely. And us Sagittarians, we are just lovely. It does have tuberose in, and tuberose can be slight tricky with some people. The raspberry in this is just divine, and it's quite linear, and it's just straightforward and to the point. And that's what a Sagittarian is all about. We can be restless, and we can... Well, I don't like to people please. I will say that. I don't like to people please. I like people to please me. But, and the bottle does match it, and the legs as well, up in the air and as wide as we can. And yes, that's what we are. Fun. The first to arrive at a party, the last to leave. We are generous to a fault. We give our last penny. I do. If I see somebody in the street begging, I have to give them something. I don't care if they are pulling a Swiftie. I've just done something for that person. I just don't care. I don't sweat the small stuff anymore. When people sweat the small stuff, I just stand there with the popcorn and let them get on with it and have a little laugh inside. Because sweating the small stuff is not what life is about. Life is for living. It's not just to exist. But this represents the side of a Sagittarius which is fun, friendly, outgoing, gregarious, sociable, the soul, the life and soul of the party. She's that girl. So, when we open up for parties, please send me an invite. So, that was my tag, and it was fun to do actually, Sam. So please go and subscribe to Sam, because she's only been on YouTube a few months, but her followers are growing. She needs to get to 1,000 subscribers, because her content, like so many other YouTube creators here on YouTube, is fabulous. She's very knowledgeable. She says she's not very sociable, but I'll tell you what, girl, you and I on a night out, I'll have you out of that shell, and you will be dancing on those tables with me. Yes, you will, Sam. I will tell you that now. After a few drinks, and I don't drink, really, I don't drink. So I can just party, because there we go, life's a party. So you've been watching another edition of The Fragrantician. What are your favourite fragrances? Comment down below. I like to see the comments, please. And I know people are viewing my videos, so please subscribe, because if you're not subscribing, you're just missing out. But until the next time, as they say in life, don't just live your life, but party your life. Till the next time, ciao for now.